In a world where we trust technology to ferry us safely from one place to another, sometimes fate decides to take a different path. This is the story of Flight 237, a journey that began in the sky, but would end as a desperate battle for survival against all odds. On a seemingly ordinary afternoon, Flight 237 took off from New York City, bound for Los Angeles. Among its passengers were 12 families, a renowned author on a book tour, and a group of friends heading to a wedding celebration. As they climbed through the clouds, none could have known that their destiny was about to take a drastic and irreversible turn. In the cockpit, Captain David Harrison and First Officer Sarah Mitchell were a picture of calm professionalism, but the skies ahead held a dark secret. "Captain, I'm detecting severe weather ahead." "We need to change our route," Sarah warned. "Agreed. Initiating a course adjustment," David replied, his hands firm on the controls. Despite their experience in swift action, they were not prepared for the storm that ambushed them. The turbulence became violent, the aircraft bucking like a wild horse. Inside the cabin, a sense of unease turned to outright fear. Chaos erupted as passengers clung to their seats, their excited chatter replaced by worried gasps. Then, in a split second, the unthinkable happened. Flight 237 was caught in a severe downdraft, and the plane began to lose altitude at an alarming rate. Alarms blared through the cockpit, a deafening siren call heralding their descent. The sounds of grinding metal and shattering glass filled the air, before being swallowed by an eerie, final silence. When the dust settled, the scene was one of utter devastation. A smoky, eerily quiet landscape in the middle of a dense forest, with wreckage scattered like broken toys. Flames licked the remains of the fuselage. For the few who survived the catastrophic impact, a new reality dawned. Stranded in the middle of nowhere, with little hope of immediate rescue, they now faced an unprecedented challenge. To stay alive against all odds, from the twisted metal, the survivors emerged, disoriented and injured. Among them were Megan, a spirited 28-year-old teacher, her first instinct to protect and calm. There was Tim, a retired firefighter, whose years of experience kicked in automatically. And Lana, a Tech-Savvy software engineer, whose mind was already racing, assessing the situation. Clutching each other in shock were Dave and Anna, a young couple whose honeymoon had just become a nightmare. Amidst the chaos, Magan's voice cut through the fear. "Listen up, everyone. We need to find water, food, and figure out how to signal for help. We can't panic." Tim, his authoritative presence, a source of strength, nodded in support. "Agreed. Let's split into two groups. One will search for supplies, the other will work on building a signal fire." Lana, already rummaging through a backpack, held up her findings. "I found a few things here. Some water, snacks, a flashlight. We should check the other bags for more supplies." A new determination sparked among the survivors as they began to salvage what they could from the wreckage. As sunset cast a golden hue over the forest, the encroaching darkness brought a new sense of urgency. The group huddled around a small, crackling fire. The small amount of food and water they'd gathered a stark reminder of their precarious situation. Megan looked at the faces around her, etched with fear and exhaustion. "We have to stick together and support each other. Anyone have any ideas on how we can find help?" A small voice broke the silence. It was Anna, her eyes suddenly bright with an idea. "What if we used the emergency transmitter? There should be one in the cockpit that survived the crash." Tim nodded approvingly. "Great idea. But it could be a long trek back to the main wreck." A murmur of agreement went through the group. They had a plan. Te Adopi. Teamwork was their only chance, and they were ready to take it. At dawn, a small party set out, venturing back towards the main wreckage. The forest, though hauntingly beautiful, was filled with hidden dangers. A snake slithered through the underbrush, a silent reminder that they were not alone. "Stay close, everyone. We can't afford to get separated," Lana called out, her voice tight with tension. They faced challenges at every turn, getting lost, sustaining injuries. But they helped one another, their shared ordeal forging a powerful bond. Reaching the wreckage, they found more supplies. A small victory in their desperate fight, but just as relief washed over them, the sky above began to darken ominously. The rain started as a drizzle, then turned into a torrential downpour. It washed away their tracks, soaked their supplies, and threatened to extinguish their precious fire. The survivors scrambled, seeking whatever shelter they could find from the relentless storm. "We can't stay out here. We need real shelter," Megan shouted over the wind. The harsh reality of their situation crashed down on them with the same force as the rain. Nature itself seemed determined to break their spirit. This was no longer just about survival. It was a war against the elements, and they were losing. Thanks for watching our story unfold. The journey of these survivors is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. If you were moved by their story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible tales of survival and resilience. We'll see you in the next video.